What's up, y'all? Face and homies / sons here with you today. We tell you every time, sometimes you got to swing at the world. Today we're going to take several swings. Been a lot of craziness going on, from Snoop Dogg trolling the world, which I told everybody he was trolling, to other craziness, Ireland paying people to move out to these islands. There's some wild stuff going on in the world. We got to start out every episode, for obvious reasons, with the war over there and what's going on and the latest developments. And sadly, from what I'm seeing, the latest developments, there are no developments. I seen that they were talking about a 5-day ceasefire and a supposed release of hostages in sequence. So I believe the first day they were supposed to have a ceasefire, and they released like 20 or 25 hostages. Then each day after that, there would be a ceasefire as long as a certain amount of hostages were released. What do y'all think of that, first of all?
Well, that doesn't undo what's already done.
It sure don't.
There's a lot of dead kids out there now. Well, they're not even just the kids, but like that's the part
bombing
that
in hospitals too.
I said this the last time when we talked about this. When this is over, and it will end at some point, it's not really going to end. Because those people that had to bury their children, you think they're going to forget it? You think they're going to be like, oh, well, we made up, it's okay now. I seen just today, and look, I went so far as to unfriend or unfollow the dude Sean, who's an activist. Not because I dislike him, not because I disagree with him, but because the images that he's posting, I can't take anymore. Today, I had unfollowed him, and another guy that I'm close with posts this table, and it's probably 5 of these, and it's just dead children. Just dead children. Then there's another one where a little boy is carrying his brother, and his brother's dead, and he's asking people to wake his brother up. Now that particularly hits hard for me because I lost a brother, and my parents didn't tell me about my brother's death till 2 years later. So I thought he was alive. And when I found out, it was very traumatic for me. So I can't imagine holding your dead brother at that age. But war's got to stop. I ask you all this every time. Do you know about the Israeli land grabs? Do you know what they're doing over there? Many years ago, people were told there was going to be a city made for Jews in the Middle East. So they came up with Israel. Well, obviously there was native Palestinian people already there. But they said, well, this is Israel now.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was
Right.
about to say, it sounds
familiar.
real familiar.
Yeah, kind of sounds like Christopher Columbus pulling up on the Native Americans saying,
Like, yo, get out.
we discovered this,
Possibly.
homie. You know, it's messed up, and you're seeing these videos, we've talked about it, they're coming and telling these native Palestinians, this is our house now. Evil. Just evil. I do hope there's a ceasefire, though. I do. I don't think it's going to undo a lot of the bad that we've already seen,
Not at all.
but at least it'll stop more, hopefully, from happening.
Sad thing, in my opinion, is I don't feel like the ceasefire is going to happen anytime soon.
I don't either, because they announced it. It came out on Insta.
And then everybody was like, nah.
First, everybody's like, yeah, ceasefire, and then not an hour later, a major news network said, no, it's not a ceasefire, we're working on it. And to my knowledge, it still hasn't officially been announced.
They're not even trying.
That could take
Yeah.
a
From what
while.
I see.
Well, I'll say this last thing. Let me paint a picture for you. This is real shit, and they just blew up another hotel, had a bunch of children and stuff staying in it. So you live in Palestine. You live in Palestine, and you're seeing the bombings, you're hearing about people you know being killed. Let's just say you live in Harrisonburg, and you know this neighborhood over 50 people were killed in bombings. Down here, 300 people were killed in bombings. So they tell you, hey, there's a hospital that they won't target. We're going to take you over to it. So you're sleeping in this hospital. You've already heard they bombed other hospitals.
Yeah,
so all night you're not sleeping. You're wondering when a fucking bomb's going to hit.
I mean, how could you sleep?
Right. And so this hotel I was telling y'all about, they were told to go there because everybody's going to be safe. No. Blew it up. Killed a bunch of people. When does it end?
Sounds like a setup.
Well,
Almost.
Yeah.
that's why Palestinians are so angry, because they feel like there was one where they were told to march this way and that would be a safe zone. and then Israelis were shooting at him.
As soon as got them all together so they can mow them down.
Well, it's just got to end sometime. If you have humanity, if you have family you love, friends you love, think about them and come together. And I want the kidnapped people from Israel released too. This ain't the way. Just saying. Let's get to another subject that's a little bit more lighthearted. Snoop Dogg Dogg.
D-O-double-G.
D-O-double-G comes out. Now, Snoop is one of the biggest weed smokers I've ever heard of. Him and Willie Nelson.
Hey, you know Tupac outsmoked them.
Tupac, look, he said Pac is smoking under the table. Now listen, but Snoop was big on that. I mean, blazing up. So he came out and he made this series of posts on Instagram saying, I'm done smoking. I'm done smoking. At first, I kind of believed him, but something felt off about it. Then he did the second day and he was just staring at his camera and he was like, I'm done smoking. I said, nah. I said, he's trolling.
Yeah.
I told him,
It was the way he said it, because he kept
Right.
saying, I'm done with the smoke.
Right.
And I was like, nah, he trying to, he
Something
doing
ain't right.
Something going on.
I go in the comments and I comment, I said, nah, he's trolling. Everybody's like, no, he figured it out. So then Meek Mill comes out like, I'm following my Uncle Snoop. I'm not smoking weed no more either. 3 other rappers follow. And then Snoop comes out and says, well, actually, he was selling some grill.
I want to say this. That grill is actually revolutionary.
Hey, I like the grill.
It was fire with no smoke.
But you know what?
Why they do that?
I don't know how they came up with it, but I like the smoke taste of barbecue. That's what I like. When I eat the hamburgers and the hot dogs, the charcoal flavor from me. Yeah. But
We're about to eventually have smokeless fires.
smokeless fires out here. But you know, look, did anybody here actually believe Snoop?
It was hard for me to.
No,
I didn't believe him, not even
break
1
or
second.
something.
Y'all gotta know Snoop like people from my generation know. That motherfucker wasn't quitting smoking.
Yeah,
I
come
seen
on
the
now.
video.
Yeah.
He was like, man, come on, man.
Yeah, but he gave a good promo
He
for
did.
that damn grill.
No, he did. That was the ultimate troll. And look, y'all, here's the thing. On the subject of weed, and we talked about this a couple episodes back, they're coming out finding that there is some health problems maybe associated and affiliated with it. I will still stand on that. I think weed is the safest drug for recreational use. It's safer than alcohol, you know?
I mean, how many old heads you know that are smoking consistently that seem fine?
I don't know if I said this on the last show, but there was a lady who lived, she was like 116, 117. This just came out. She admitted she smokes a pack a day and she drinks every day.
Damn.
Now, does that mean that's what kept her alive? Well, I don't think so. It just means you never know what's going to kill you.
I bet she stayed moving.
She stayed
I
moving.
bet she was real active.
She did.
And on top of all that, she was probably real active.
My grandfather, he lived till 85, and this fool would be out chopping wood at 80. You know.
Couldn't allow that, man. Watch my granddad out there cutting wood.
Well, look, I helped,
You gotta
but let me
respect
just
the
say
hustle.
he enjoyed it. He liked it.
They'll tell
Just
you too.
wanted
Get
to
out
do
the
it,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, he liked the work, you know. Shout out to Snoop. That was the ultimate troll job. You got a lot of them. You just didn't get me.
Hey, hook us up with a grill.
Hook us up with a grill for real, Snoop.
Let us do
Come
a
on.
review on it.
There's something. Let me find this real quick because I found this interesting. So Ireland is now paying people from, I guess, different localities, $92,000 to move to these remote islands that were cut off by the tides. Now, I just seen this, so I don't have a lot of info in it.
That
but
sounds terrible.
yeah,
If
I mean,
you talking about water on an island, and you gonna make me build a house? Nah, I'm not living there.
well, it's already been cut off by tides.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta wonder on an island. Well, look, any island's in more danger of sinking, of flooding, of being overran by water. We know this. I'm trying to think of the ancient island. There's been stories about it, etc. Volcano erupted and sunk it down into the ocean, and now I'm gonna forget what it was. But then Atlantis. Have y'all all heard the story of Atlantis? So they believe that Atlantis was an island that some people say was super advanced. I don't know, how much of that is true, but it was overran by water and it sunk down into the ocean. So fast forward, I'm not taking my ass to some island out in the middle of nowhere and living for $92,000. Truth be told, and some people will find this offensive, $92,000 is not enough.
Where would you
to
spend it?
move.
You're on an island.
Yeah, there's not even a convenience store.
Who's gonna come collect rent? I'm on an island. You're gonna
gotta
have to
be-
travel by boat for 3 days.
You gotta be one of the most antisocial motherfuckers to live on that shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you also probably have to have extensive knowledge of the land.
I mean, how am I supposed to go to the gym?
How are you going to the gym?
You
How are
have
you
to
going
lift
to the
trees.
store? How are you doing anything? You know,
Chopping
you might have to take a boat to get to the next island for food.
That's
you
why
know?
I said charge who rent. Because who coming to get it? You got to travel by boat. Come on, man.
Hey, listen, I'll say this though. I feel like I'm remote just here in the city I live in now. We used to live in another city over, and I liked it because it was a college city. There's a lot more activity. We moved over here because we got a good deal on a house. I hate it. Hate it. Feel like I'm in a remote island and it's a city of 50,000 people. So I could not imagine living out there. The man who was exonerated in Malcolm X's murder sues the U.S. and claims the FBI hid evidence about Malcolm X's killing. Now, I don't know how much you young men know about Malcolm X in that case. What do you guys know who Malcolm X
I know who
is?
he is. I know how he became deceased.
You know he got ambushed, basically.
Well, it was a setup, right? Like they said, there was a theory or something, or maybe it was proven.
Here's the thing, all right? There's a lot of different theories about why Malcolm was killed. Truthfully, I don't know which one I believe, but the leading theory is this. Malcolm X was dealing with Elijah Muhammad, who was the creator of the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is an offset of the Muslim religion. I'm not going to insult anybody. I'll just say it's not a true Muslim religion, okay? There's a lot of things said in it that don't fit with Muslim Brotherhood. Now, one of the main things is a hatred for certain other races. So here's what happened. Malcolm X, who had been under Elijah Muhammad and was his best student, ended up making the trip to Mecca. Every Muslim is supposed to make a trip to Mecca if they can. Mecca is, you know, where a lot of Muslims go for the great journey to pray. He gets over there. He sees white people, black people, Arabic people, Hispanic people, Asian people praying together. And he said, wait a minute. This ain't what Elijah Muhammad been teaching us. He's been teaching us hatred. So he comes out and says he learned wrong and he didn't want to live that way no more. Now, around that time, right before that, he had fell out with Muhammad Ali. He spoke out against Elijah Muhammad, and Muhammad Ali cut Malcolm X off. So there's this big thing. It's said that black Muslims, it's called the Fruit of Islam. It's a militant armed group of the Nation of Islam executed Malcolm. They were at a gathering. Somebody falsely said, hey, he stole out of my pocket, and made this big scene, which was a diversion. Then they ran up on Malcolm and they killed him. But this person thinks that no, it wasn't the Nation of Islam. It was instead the government paid other black people to come kill Malcolm. Now, you said you know a bit about it. What's your theory? You got any theory?
That is my theory, right there. I
That the government did it?
Look, I wouldn't put it past the U.S. government. You know, didn't they hire the FBI to traffic cocaine?
They hired the FBI to do a lot. Well, the CIA specifically. The CIA.
They hired an agency of some sort to traffic cocaine right here in the United States. So I believe that. And there's always somebody out there willing to take money.
I don't want to get too deep because I'll get my facts wrong, but there's a proven case of a CIA operative transporting large amounts of drugs to inner city gangbangers and saying, here you go. So if that can happen, then secondly, let's not forget, Martin Luther King's family sued the United States government and said they were responsible for his death. And they won the lawsuit.
Just like John F. Kennedy.
Right.
They said, you know, it's a lot of political figures out here that have been said to have been killed by the government. I believe it.
Now, look, you guys know I'm kind of against conspiracy theories, but to JFK. Basically, we were beefing with Cuba and Fidel Castro at that time. So supposedly Fidel Castro had connections with the American Mafia, and Fidel Castro, you know, makes these communications to the American Mafia and says, assassinate the president. assassinate JFK, get him out of there because he's fucking up relations for everybody. Supposedly. Now,
Wasn't Castro murdered too, though?
no,
Or
Castro
did he-
lived to an old age.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cuba right now is a haven. I don't want to say criminals because some of them I side with, but a lot of Americans and other countries that are on the run go to Cuba because Cuba will not extradite. And here's why. You guys know what a trade embargo is? A trade embargo is this. Like with other countries, we got an agreement. You send us your goods and we'll send you goods and we'll trade with each other.
Okay, well, yeah, all right.
Cuba has no trade embargo. So Cubans right now, if you go to Cuba, their cars are from the fucking 1950s and 60s.
Oh, gee.
They've got all ancient computers. A lot of their citizens, and this is just based off what I've read, are living off of like not good food. They don't get the good foods that other countries have for
So
through
they're
trade.
right around North Korea as
Right.
far as how,
Damn
you know,
near.
how
Exactly.
terrible it is.
The reason we did the trade embargo. All right, Russia could never in their rabbit ass existence bomb us with missiles because we're too far away. But Cuba is only like 70 miles off our shores. So Russia hit up Cuba back in the day. It was like, hey, let us set some missile bases up on your island.
And then we saw that.
And we was like, yo, that's not cool,
Is
Cuba.
that missile crisis?
That's the
Yeah,
Cuban
it was.
Missile Crisis.
Hey, you know, I will say this. Black Ops 1, first mission.
Bam!
It took a fat
Got to
L.
go.
Yeah, you busted through the door. Slow motion. You had to hit the shot. You didn't
Well,
hit the...
That's-
You didn't, you're dead.
Well, let me
Yeah.
tell y'all, just for the record, they tried to kill Castro many times. Tried to poison this fool, put hits out on him. They couldn't get him.
You gotta
know?
send Frank Woods over there, man.
Yeah.
He'll handle it.
Did you guys, you see the movie, damn, what's it called? It's got Tom Cruise, and it's about them trying to assassinate Hitler.
I know what movie you're talking about.
Well, in that movie, and if you read historically, people tried to assassinate Hitler many times.
You remember that story I told you of that soldier that was like guarding the base? He
Yep,
seen
yep.
Hitler walk up. He didn't know it was him, and he let him go.
Yep, that's
How do
great.
you not know it's him? He
It was
got
a young
mustache
Hitler.
and everything. Oh,
It was
Well-
a young Hitler. Like he had,
yeah,
he
makes
he
sense.
wasn't even Hitler yet, technically, like the big dog.
You remember we talked about how after the war, a lot of famous Nazis escaped out. You know, they escaped out, and people didn't know who they were. They fucking altered their appearance. But
Hey, if you take away that little piece of mustache, he does look different. I seen some
Yeah.
pictures.
yeah, yeah, be fucking confused. I ain't gonna lie to
Put
you.
on some glasses, it's over.
Now, this isn't our music section yet. We're gonna get to that later, but it's a subject big enough. I've got to talk about it. Andre 3000 from Outkast, who I believe is lyrically top 15 all time. If you want to see how good he is lyrically, go listen to Bombs Over Baghdad. Listen to his lyrics. It's freakish. I mean, this dude is nasty on the mic.
Go listen to the guitar.
Yeah,
With B.O.B.
yeah.
You don't even
yeah.
know where he's gonna land on that song.
I mean, just he's talented. So, you know, you guys are young. You may not realize that for many years there was this internal struggle. Outkast was a cool ass. When they first came out, they were the first rap group out of Atlanta that really, really blew up. They came out, they were cool, you know, dressed like everybody else. Then the second album, shit started to go just a little funky. Third album, this motherfucker's wearing pants that were stuffed animals. Fourth album, I didn't even know what he was. He just dressed like he was batshit crazy. So, fine. Big Boy, meanwhile, dressed normal. Big Boy and them still doing their thing. And it was like Andre 3000 was trying to sabotage the group. Finally, they do their last album together, which was the Love Box, or Speaker Box, The Love Below. And it was the highest selling rap album ever, okay? Great. We waited decades for Andre and Outkast to come back out with an album. Big Boy did, Andre never did. Then we get an announcement. Andre 3000's coming out with an album. I was hyped. I was gonna buy it. This motherfucker did an album of flutes. He did a whole album of him playing the flute.
And still outsold a lot of people today. Even if you go look up the numbers, it's stupid. It's outlandish how many people streamed it.
The people bought it. Like,
millions.
look, and I'm not mad at that. All right, let me say this.
Motherfuckers got different tastes in music, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock anybody's hustle. If you made money off of it and there's people that wanted to buy it, I respect it. But Andre, you hurt my heart, dog. Okay? I was waiting on that new album. I thought I was going to get to hear you spit again. And there was a lot of other people hurt. And I don't give a fuck how many people bought that album. Truthfully, they bought it out of curiosity. Don't nobody want to hear you play the flute.
He said he had nothing to rap. He did. He said, I have nothing to rap about.
So did you hear us? Yeah, you heard what he said.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Man.
I can kind of respect it though. You know what? I was real angry at him till he addressed it. He said, I'm in my 40s. He's 48. He said, what do you want me to rap about?
Retirement? Like,
He said, I've been rich for several years, not in the streets. He said, what do you want me to tell you? I had a colonoscopy last week. He said that.
He did say too. He was like, even with Outkast, he said he was just too old to rap anymore like that. So, which I disagree with. I think he could spit like crazy right now if he wanted to.
Listen, there's still all right. I'll get my song of the day, which we'll talk about in a minute, was from a rapper who's near 50. Man, you can always find shit to say and shit to talk about. I never understood rap having this age limit because it's like as we get older, we got more experience. You know?
Eminem 51.
Yeah. Well, now Eminem, here's what I want to say about him. He once did a song where the hook was nobody wants to hear their granddad rap.
Yeah.
Okay, he was talking about Benzino. So when Eminem came out in his 40s and did a song, I was like, now wait a minute. But I get it because that's what he loves.
Machine Gun Kelly did try to use that on him though. He did.
He did.
Like,
Yeah.
my grandpa and shit. So,
Well,
hey, he did, instead of coming out with a new album, he came out with that spaghetti sauce.
He did.
And I tried to order it, it was sold out.
Are you kidding me?
I went on the website, it's $20 a jar.
The mom spaghetti, you tried to order
I
it?
did, I was gonna have her cook some spaghetti, you know.
Well, shout out to Eminem. In spite of what my son may think, I think he's an all-time great and definitely a great lyricist. Shout out to Andre 3000. You know, I was angry at first about the Flute album. Not angry like tearing my hair out or my skin off, but more just frustrated like, damn, dude, I wanted an album from you. But when he gave his explanation, I got it. Road rage incident out on the highway causes a severe accident. You got a guy on the interstate on a motorcycle, little car beside him, and I guess they're beefing with each other. So the motorcycle swerves at the car swerves back, and the car just starts rolling, which was bad enough.
The motorcycle won that battle?
Somehow.
I'm just asking, because usually the guy on the bike loses.
Somehow, the motorcycle won. Against all odds.
That guy had poor handling.
Yeah, but it was worse, because the guy in the car roll, then rolls in front of him a semi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Did he live?
I think they said he lived, but he's in intensive care. And I believe it was some massive vehicle that he rolled in front of. I can't remember what it was, but he got smacked. You guys ever had an incident of somebody having road rage against you?
Oh yeah.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
You know how many times somebody pulled the middle finger on me?
I seen this chick in a Mercedes hitting her 95 miles an hour the other day.
Really?
I said, what the hell is going on? She was swerving in and out of... Bro, lucky I didn't have time that day. I was going to catch up on her.
Well, people get angry. Angry.
You gotta let them go, though. A lot of times, because I've seen them where they pull guns and shoot on you.
Cost your life, yeah.
Well, that's the big thing. And look, I had a dude, I think I was close one day. This was probably 10 years ago. Came off the interstate in Harrisonburg, and this dude almost cut me off. He almost cut me off. So I was like, yo, the fuck? He said, fuck you, motherfucker. And so I said, all right. I said, fuck you. So I had a little temper. Dude literally swerved in front of me and got out of his car. So I said, all right, bitch, you picked the wrong one. So I got out, and I guess when he seen me, I looked more intimidating. I was like, what's up? He's like, oh, I got something for you. So he goes back to his car. So I backed up and watched, because you never know when somebody's going to shoot. And he starts rifling around in his car, and he looks at me, and then he gets back in and goes. But you know,
He forgot it.
You ain't gonna have
Yeah,
time to do that
definitely
shit.
forgot
First
it.
of all,
right.
I wonder what the argument would be, right? Like, say he was like, all right, I got something for you, and starts walking to his car. I'm taking that serious.
That's a serious threat.
I'm
Yeah.
running you down in
I'm
that
out.
truck. I'm getting out of there.
Well, let me tell y'all just one last war story, and then we're going to our music section. I had a non-road rage incident where I was beefing. I told this story on Scarface's Street Stories. I was beefing with a big Cuban dude named Cuba. And long story short, he pulled a gun on me, pointed at me and my wife, fired a shot. We don't know how we got away from it. Me and my wife was pregnant at the time. And we got in the car and all that. So I run into this dude later. And we get out. I was like, where's your gun, bitch? What's up? I knew he didn't have a gun because I had a friend who called me and was like, yo, Cuba just left my house. He don't have his gun on him. So I'm gonna get this bitch. So I pull up on him. Well, he didn't have a gun, but he had this big metal steel crutch. So he's like, what's up? And he starts coming to chase me. Well, I had a 2x4, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, in the back of my car. So I ran back to my car, and my wife's in the car. I'm like, open the doors are locked. Wow, he's beating me on the back of the head with the crutch. Finally, I got the door open and got my 2x4, and he took off. But, you know, I just think, as angry as he was there, if he'd have had a gun, he would have killed me. He tried to kill us before.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you just don't know who you're dealing with out here. So we got a new section for you today. From here on, the way it'll go, we'll start out with a few subjects from the world, talk about them. Then we're going to go to our music of the day. Each one of us is going to go through, tell you about one song we either love or hate. And in 30 seconds, we're going to tell you why we love or hate it. Then after that, we'll do sports. Then we'll do The World Swings Back, and we're out. So today, for my song, and I was just bumping this when I pulled up, Mac 10, King of Chevys. Reason I love it, it's one of the few new songs out there that's got that truly old school feel. It shows him riding in these old school Impalas. The bass line is hot. And I like Cali rappers to sound like Cali rappers, and the beats to sound like Cali rappers, and that's how it sounded. Shout out to Mac 10 for keeping it old school. King of Chevys, go check that track out.
My song of the day is Let's Go by Key Glock. I always fuck with a Key Glock song, don't you?
I like Key Glock. I do.
Yeah,
He got this little hook on it. Fuck all that shit. Get some money.
Now Key Glock is Young Dolph's guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hell of a hook.
What's the name of the song?
Let's go.
Key Glock, Let's Go. Let's go. Check that out.
My song of the day, I've been listening for the past couple of months. These two know it. I don't know if you know, but Mexican OT.
Oh
yeah. Hey, Johnny Dang, man.
And Big X the Plug on the hit list. I was bumping that on the way to the gym today. It got me right, you know. The bass hit different.
What's the song? Is it called Mexican OT?
No, it's called Hit List.
Hit List.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mexican OT Hit List.
Y'all gotta check it out.
Where's he from?
Texas.
Texas.
Didn't he make the song? in
Check that
Texas?
out.
Yeah.
Big X the plug.
that shit-
Yeah,
that
Big
shit-
X made Texas.
That shit
Yeah.
hard.
Y'all educate me on the new shit today.
Hey, you gotta bump it. Check it out.
I'm gonna try it.
I'm gonna tell you about a song I hate.
I want to hear this.
You remember when 6ix9ine got out of prison and he did Goomba?
Oh my God, I
don't
hate
wanna
that
hear
song.
You know, it has almost 1 billion views on YouTube.
What?
Does it?
Almost
Yeah.
1 billion views. It's
Yeah,
856 million right now.
See, now that goes to show you cannot, nobody's going to convince me that that song's good. People are watching that out of sheer, this sucks.
The video and everything was trash.
Now I'm not
Everything.
gonna lie. I fucked with 6ix9ine before he snitched.
Nah,
I ain't gonna lie, yeah, when
I
he
ain't
was doing
gonna
his
lie,
thing,
man.
being like, you know, but he came out and
at
really
least you
I
honest.
never was
He
really
did that
feeling
one song with
it.
Fetty Wap. I know y'all know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
yeah,
I know
yeah,
what you.
yeah.
I mean, it was
fuck
alright,
with Fetty
you know.
Wap.
But
I'm going to tell you why I didn't fuck with him before he snitched, because I seen the fakeness, and here's why. Look, now, and this is just no offense. I've lived up north, Pittsburgh, Philly, all those areas that kind of have that mixture of black, Hispanic, and I know my Hispanic dudes that run with the brothers, etc. This dude was, his one video, I forget what it is, it's in New York. He's posted up and there's a bunch of Bloods in the background. And he's like the only Hispanic dude. It was just so obvious that the guys in the video didn't really fuck with him. Okay? To me, Other people might have bought it. He's out in front like, yeah, like he's the gang leader. Afterwards, we all know they were tying him up, fucking his baby's mama, extorting him for money. So the song was just fraudulent. And people can tell you at the time, when I seen his songs, I was like, that dude's a coward.
You see where his security was pulling him around in that wagon?
Oh yeah, that pissed me off.
He was like, he's eating, just right on the street, eating ice cream, being pulled in the wagon.
Well, let me say this, last thing, to 6ix9ine, he was talking about that day, nobody's gonna touch me because I got security, blah, blah, blah. Bro, the night Tupac got killed, do y'all know how many fucking security he had with him?
Man, fuck that, the president. Think about how many presidents have been killed. They got top line security.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like, if a U.S. president can be assassinated, any rapper can be touched, you know? And here's the second thing. If there's somebody that just don't care whether they live or die, it's even easier. Think about it. If you're surrounded by security and I come up and I don't care if they gun me down and pow, 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 it don't matter. You got me, but I got you, you know?
Yeah, you got what you were coming for.
But anyways, songs of the day. I'm glad we at least got one that we hated, because I agree with the one we hated. Shout out to all the artists that were named, unless your name is 6ix9ine.
Hey, you see where he was boxing, training for boxing? I don't know.
I see that.
Yeah, it was like a year or two ago. But if you look up 6ix9ine boxing, like training and stuff.
I gotta see that. He better get it right.
Yeah, we could put all his songs under hate, honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
Was you out in Harrisonburg this weekend? Saw how crazy you were?
Yeah, ESPN. Hey,
Stayed home.
Yeah.
there was a big crowd in Harrisonburg this weekend.
Huge.
Crowded.
They had the Jonas Brothers out there.
Jonas
you said
Brothers.
JMU's undefeated? Was that
JMU
right?
is.
And they just lost.
Oh, they lost to Appalachian State.
Yeah, they lost in overtime.
It's always the college
By
game days.
3.
It's always the.
I want to talk about they're 10-1, right?
Choke.
They're not allowed to go to a bowl game, even though bowl games have at least 6-win teams.
Yeah, they're protesting that for sure.
How are they not allowed to go to a bowl?
It's like a 1
So
or 2 year recognition.
They
for
signed
it.
a contract, right?
Yeah.
And they can't go to a bowl game for 3 years. Last year they was 7-4 and couldn't go to a bowl game, and they was already protesting that then.
So they're undefeated now. What is their record?
Right now they're
excuse me,
10-1.
they're 10-1.
And they
That's
had
impressive.
the least amount of running yards allowed and the most sacks. So they got a great defense.
JMU traditionally has gave some big schools games. They played WVU a few times, gave them good games. You know, if you don't know the little city of Harrisonburg, let me tell y'all, it's a diverse community anyways. It's got, you know, multiple big colleges, well, multiple sizable colleges in it. You got JMU, EMU, you got Bridgewater College, and it's a real proud city, especially with JMU. It's a shame if they're 10-1 that you're not going to let them go to a bowl game. That just don't make sense to me. You
How
know?
else you gonna represent the city?
Well, some got to give.
Come on now.
I always lead off with the Ravens. I know y'all hate me for it. It's okay. We just had another big win, but we had a huge, heartbreaking, devastating loss to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, who to me is the best tight end in the NFL. Sorry, Kelsey. I know Kelsey's great. His stats are a little better than Mark's, but Mark's younger and still, I think he was going to have another Pro Bowl year.
You know, I feel like Mark Andrews is better because he's not dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah, true, true.
That's the main reason.
You know,
That's
I was
what-
saying hot take, but now I agree.
Yeah. Well, you know, look, he broke some smaller bones in his ankle. It did come out today that they're saying there's a chance he can return if we go to the
I
playoffs.
just feel like he got to play it safe unless we go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's always
yeah.
one of y'all star players right before y'all about to the playoffs.
You know,
Isn't that
Lamar
last
got
year?
a sprained ankle too.
Does he?
Huh.
Yeah. Slight, but you know, OBJ, your boy, is starting to pick up.
Man, I've been seeing some highlights of him. He's looking like the good old days.
Well, he loves that one route,
little
that
slant.
slant route across
Yeah.
the middle.
And they
He
just
loves it.
I don't know what
Burst
play
was
we
speed
doing,
time.
but we doing a little slant with him.
Hey,
Hey,
listen,
throw it to that guy.
you gonna see Ravens in the Super Bowl. I'm telling y'all. Tonight we got a huge game. Chiefs-Eagles.
Who y'all got?
I got the Chiefs.
I hope the Chiefs lose
Yeah, me
because
too, but I still got the Chiefs.
I think the Eagles are a more well-rounded team.
They have receivers.
That would've been good
Yeah.
this year.
I'll say this. I think that this is Mahomes' weakest playoff team. I think that they don't have any receivers.
Yeah,
None.
Tyreek,
And that's
he
just
doesn't-
crazy to say considering they're like 8-1.
Well, they
7
are,
and 2,
but they're in a bum division. I mean, their division is garbage. Look who's in it.
Yeah.
You got the Broncos.
Yeah, you don't ever hear
Let's
anything
ride.
about it.
Yeah, the Raiders are garbage. And I don't know what's going on with the Chargers because they got a good quarterback, but I don't know. It may sound like Chiefs hate. It is. But I think the Eagles are the better team, but we'll see. You guys got any updated Super Bowl predictions?
Give me my Ravens.
I think it's still gonna.
Yeah,
be
I think I'm
Birds.
still the same about the Birds. Yeah.
I think Ravens Eagles.
Yeah.
I swear I do.
Yeah.
49ers, though, we play them on
Yeah,
Christmas
what
Day.
happened to the 49ers?
I mean, they're just kind of falling off.
They're struggling. Well, I'll tell y'all, and I don't want to be that guy, but I kept saying at the beginning of the year, they've got a young quarterback.
It just doesn't seem like that should have been the problem considering they have Christian McCaffrey and they have a stacked defense.
Well,
And
there's
they
no
got
doubt.
Debo Samuel.
Debo hadn't been.
The problem is young quarterbacks, you guys know, because we played football games where you're winning, then one turnover, one fumble,
Yeah.
one interception. When you got a young quarterback and your defense is playing close games and so on and so forth, then that quarterback makes one mistake. That can end the game for you. Shout out to the Niners, though. Super Bowl rematch, Christmas Day this year is going down, except there won't be a Colin Kaepernick.
He was not wrong for kneeling, though. I don't even
No.
want to get into it, but
Well,
I'm gonna just
he
leave it
wasn't.
on that.
Yeah.
No, I stand on it, and I'm going to tell y'all a little secret, and this gets overlooked every fucking time, but you can research it, you can find out it's true, and then you can shut the fuck up. Kaepernick got the idea for kneeling from where? Where'd he get it? I'll tell you where. A United States Special Forces soldier gave him the idea. He said, if you want to show a silent protest without really insulting, disrespecting America, just take a knee during the national anthem, okay? And he was told this by a soldier. A lot of people don't know that, but research it, you'll find out it's true. Yet everybody's saying he's disrespecting our troops.
Yeah.
You know, half the troops don't care because guess what? They're fighting for free. Here's what makes America so beautiful. If in North Korea right now you say fuck Kim Jong, whatever his name
Oh
is,
yeah, they gonna be at your door.
you
They're
want
gonna
them to
either execute you
Right.
on the spot or they gonna jail you.
In America, if I say fuck President Joe Biden,
They ain't gonna do nothing.
that's what
They
makes
can't.
America great. But it seems like you guys don't want anybody to have that freedom of speech.
They're making it personal about themselves.
It's freedom of speech until it goes against their
beliefs.
beliefs. Yes.
Right.
See, they were burning Nikes because like Nike was like, "Yo, we're gonna do this campaign," but
That's
then they were
your money.
burning shoes.
And by the way, Nike's stock went.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
want it.
didn't do too good with that. So Shakur Stevenson,
Dude, that fight was so boring.
listen,
But on the other hand, his defense looked great.
defense looked great, and Shakur is a beast. Okay, but you can find my Facebook post, and I'm gonna let Nate show it. I told everybody the kid was gonna give him a tough fight. And I had people in my comments laughing and laugh reacting to it. I know a little something about boxing, okay? And the kid he was fighting is one of those high energy, high motor type fighters. Keeps coming forward. And I knew Shakur was going to struggle
I
with
got a
him a
hot
little
take
bit.
now after
What's
that
that?
fight. Isaac Cruz knocks him out.
Ooh, that's a hot
Knocks
take.
him out.
Listen, I won't say no. I think Shakur and I always forget the other boy's name.
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney. Shakur and Devin Haney are the pillow punching brothers. Okay? Neither one of them have any real pop on their punches. That's not to say you have to have pop to be a winner, as you can see. But I just think that once other fighters see that they can walk right through their shots, it takes them away. You know? So I think you might be onto something there.
This week's main event is going to be David Benavidez and Bubu Adandre.
Who you got?
Benavidez.
Well, I tend to
They're
agree.
both undefeated fighters, and I feel like Benavidez is way too quick for him.
I think Benavidez has fought the better opponents as
Benavidez
well.
is ducking Canelo. He's ducking him.
Ooh.
All
right, so now let me ask you, is Canelo an all-time great?
Yeah.
I think
put
so
him up
too.
there.
I think so too.
He fought Floyd at like what, 20? And he fought Miguel Cotto at 19 and beat him at 19.
He did. And listen, people don't understand. There's people that say, hey, you know, Floyd caught Canelo young, that's why he beat him. People go, oh, well, what does that matter? Well, it matters a lot, because when you're 20 years old, you're not at your peak. That's what people don't understand. Boxers don't hit their peak till about 24, 25. That's when the physical and the mental merges and it comes together. 20 is young. 20, it don't matter. People are like, oh, well, by that point he had 300 amateur fights. Still don't matter. This was a pro fight on a big stage against Floyd Mayweather. If you had taken Canelo at 27 and put him against Floyd, I'm not saying he beats him, but I think it's a better fight.
I still feel like Floyd, if we go prime for prime, Floyd's beating him.
I agree. I think it's a better fight, though.
Yeah.
Because he dog walked him. Floyd dog walked him. We seen Blueface get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather and spar. And a lot of people didn't seem impressed. I was a little bit impressed, personally. At first, now he got tired. Did you guys see the video?
Yeah, he was
There was
throwing
a
that
video?
jab out there.
No, the one,
The
well,
old one?
so look, I posted on Facebook yesterday.
Oh.
But that was only one clip. There's like 6 clips of it. And what happens is, first 3 clips, it's what every experienced boxer knows. New guy comes in, he's hard as he
He gets
can.
tired 2 rounds.
And then
they're
2
gone.
rounds later, he's that's basically what happened. Still, Blueface showed enough experience and enough skill for me to say, for a rapper, he didn't look bad. People are shitting on him and saying, oh, well, Floyd was just playing with him. I don't think he was
Floyd
playing.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, come on. Either which way, this is an all-time great. I still respect Blueface's fighting ability. Sorry.
You
I
get
do.
in there, it's
Yeah.
that's more and more most people are willing to do, especially with Floyd. You know you're gonna get embarrassed in there when you're with him.
And I don't think he really got embarrassed. I think he got, in the end, it showed that Floyd could have took him out, but he held his own, you know, so respect to that.
Did better than FaZe Jarvis.
Facts.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Facts.
Clay Thompson.
What
is
are you
happening?
doing?
You think he should retire?
At this point, yeah, because you're shooting bricks, buddy.
Why
He
do you
went
look like
1
big
for 10
dogs?
the other day.
I mean,
This is Klay Thompson, the Golden State.
yeah, this dude's a great shooter. If he would have kept on track, you know, greatest shooter of all time almost, or at least in that
I just
ranking,
feel like
you know?
he doesn't have the bag to be able to set up a shot.
He's getting old. He's getting
How
old.
old is he?
He's at least in his late 30s. I'd say past 35.
I did not know that. So
I
what's
mean-
Golden State's record? Or put it this way, are they in the running to win the West or not?
Yeah, even
They
though
might-
they got Chris Paul and Steph Curry.
Yeah. Which
What?
is
Yeah.
funny to me because they vetoed Chris Paul going to the Lakers back in the
But
day.
now
it's
they
just
got Chris
okay.
Paul.
Now it's
Wow. So they're doing all right, but let's see, Milwaukee, the Bucks, they're in the West.
East.
East. Yeah, they're in the East.
So who's the big dogs in the West?
I would say the Nuggets. They won the championship last year.
Can I
and
say
then-
OKC?
OKC, yeah, I'd say they're a young
OKC.
core, you know, and the Clippers, they built a super team, but it's kind of working out, you know. They got Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook.
I remember,
James Harden's
yeah.
not playing that good though.
Nah, I mean, but like you said, he's the system.
Wait a minute, they got James Harden and Westbrook. Remember when they played together for OKC?
Yeah,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a big basketball guy as far as the info, so that's why I need the boys to break that down. But so y'all's pick for the NBA championship is who?
I got the Clippers. Those are my guys.
Really?
I got the Clippers up in there.
I
I feel
still
like
got
they're
the
gonna-
Bucks.
The Bucks.
Bucks,
Yeah.
Clippers, you know, Bucks from the East, Clippers from the West.
Yeah.
I feel like the Clippers are going to figure it out.
Man, I miss the days of Shaq and Kobe,
Man,
Michael Jordan.
that
you
was
know,
elite.
Yeah,
that
I
was
think Kobe.
back then. Even I had to
Facts.
watch. You know. This is called Swing at the World because we like to bust the world up when we can, but sometimes you miss and it something punches the shit out you and swings back.
You know, it said you get these emails or you get these phone calls, right, from Nigeria, and you
Right.
pretty much know how that goes.
Right,
Talk
right.
about you're a prince, you're gonna get some money. So I guess this guy got one of those emails, and his wife caught wind of this and was like, "Yo, so he's about to get this money, right?" So she comes up with this plan to kill him because she thinks that she's gonna get half of it, right? If he dies, she thinks that he's gonna, she's gonna get half of his inheritance. So she comes up with this plan. She poisons him with antifreeze, and he dies. And she gets caught, and it turns out it was one of those fake emails. He was never gonna get any money, and she killed him, went to prison, and obviously got no money.
Poisoned.
So they found out, because I guess they came to the house and was investigating as they would. She was dumb enough to leave it in the living room in a bottle right there. And there was bottles of it in the garage and everything.
Well,
Motherfuckers just don't think.
And beer bottles, and she was serving him tea with it.
Yeah, I was
Like-
about to say, what'd she do? Like mix it in a cup or
Like
something?
in his beer and his shit,
that
yeah.
is
the
weird.
fact that she fell for the African prince thing was the first sign that she was a dumbass. Okay? So it don't shock me that she left her murder weapon right there in the house. But, damn, how did this person even make it through youth to be that dumb? Imagine being the guy, like you fucking die for something that was never going to be anyways,
Yeah.
you know? Did he know that it was fake?
No, he thought it was real too.
So was he talking about leaving her or something?
No, I think I think she just got selfish because he had this plan to meet with this lawyer at an airport or something like that.
Right.
And before that could happen, he died. You know. Wow. She was pretty quick with it. Like
I'm sure the lawyer was going to be like, look, dude, you know.
somebody was gonna steer him in the right. They were in their 50s though, so.
There's that old saying, who knows what evil lies in the hearts of men or women? You know, it's scary, man. You don't know what a motherfucker's thinking.
She was quick with that though.
Yeah.
Like, within like a week or two, she was already poisoning him and he was dead. So.
Well, it just goes to show you, and I said this once, big money changes people. It does. And a person, money and fame makes a person who they really are amplified. So if you're a shitty person, money and fame will really show that. If you're a good person, same. I'll tell this last story. EPMD, I always talk about this. They got Rich and Famous. It's an old rap group. These guys grew up together. Well, Eric, or Parrish, makes his own promotion group. Eric wanted a piece of it, but he hadn't worked for it. He hadn't earned it. So he sends armed men to Parrish's house and robs him. Finally, the police figure it out. Hey, it was your partner that did this. Duct taped him up and everything, okay? They're still rhyming together. Couldn't be me. That would be
Crazy
it.
for that.
You know?
Alright, there's a 35-year-old man named Joseph Carl Hader, right? He lives in Michigan, resides there. He was a volunteer firefighter for the I think it was like the Whitefish Town or something along those lines. He got arrested while fighting a fire, right?
What?
But why?
He set the fire that he was. Yeah, look, they determined because it was literally on video. There was a gas station across the street from where he was fighting the fire, and it was literally on video him starting the fire.
Idiot!
And he responded to the fire and was fighting it like he was some hero.
You know that's actually not rare. You can look this up. There's several cases of volunteer firefighters. There was one really big one where this volunteer firefighter got tied to like 40 fires that he had set. I don't know. Some people have this savior mentality where they want to show people. There was a nurse who got tied to a shitload of murders.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about, too.
And it came out she wasn't killing people even because she wanted to kill them. She would put them into cardiac arrest, and she wanted to show people she was saving them. She was saving them, and a bunch of them died. People, you know, just clout. Clout is a hell of a
I
drug.
feel like it's an ego thing more than anything.
It is. No, that's exactly what
My
it
brother
is.
was already a firefighter, though.
Yeah.
What are you
I mean,
doing?
Mr. Hader just wanted to get big.
Yeah, he just wanted to be the talk of the town. I
well,
think.
hopefully that was the only fire he started. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, listen, thanks to y'all to tune in. Every week I'm going to tell you, please break it down in the comments if there's something you want to see more of. Hey, there's a little cupcake. I want to shout out this guy. I forget his name, but he commented on 2 of our videos, and he was going blah, 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 blah. And basically he had said, look, you guys only have this amount of subscribers. And I laughed back at him and told him that, well, actually, the other channel I started has almost 4 million. I also laughed at him again and said, I've got side channels that have almost 300,000. And I also laughed at him because he only had like 20 subscribers.
Yeah, his videos got like 90 views.
Yeah, so
You better get out of here.
sit down, son. Listen, one thing about it, we make videos that we throw away that get more views than what you shoot for. Alright? Hey, if the world gives y'all shit, do what I just did just now and swing back at the world. See y'all soon.